Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Friar Chuck here, and I am back with the off-season episode for 2026 of the Boston Red Sox franchise. If I still sound a little downtrodden, I'm recording this back to back uh, of the last episode where we were unfortunately eliminated by the New York Yankees. We need a farm director. Let's go see if we can find one. This guy looks like a guy. He looks like a dude. Yes. Come here. I'll give you way over your expected because you look like you're going to do a lot of good for us. So please, take my money. Only name I recognize on here is AJ Hinch. He's a manager. I don't know where he's managing right now, but Marcus Timms, former player, somebody's first base coach, I think now, or hitting coach. I don't know. Anyway, so exclusive free agent negotiations. I'm not going to do any of these. That's how we got locked into that big ass contract with Walker Buehler. I'll just try and re-sign these guys on my own. Because I do want Andrew Kittredge back at the very least. Austin Adams and Paul Sewald, I'll probably let walk. Buehler and Marquez, I'm not going to bring back. Although Marquez has gone up in overall. As far as roster goes, actually, let's look at the budget. There may be some guys I need to try and move on from. Alex Bregman is on the last year of his deal now, so he's still making a bunch. Masataka Yoshida's got to go. I need to get that $18 million off. We have like $5 million available. That's absolutely insane. At this point, I don't even care what I trade him for. He just needs to go. Anything. Anything that's not going to cost me a bunch of money. I'm not trading with the Yankees. I don't even care if the deal makes sense or not. Sure. 19-year-old relief pitcher with a 68 overall. Sounds good. There you go. Okay, that money's off the board. We still have Devers making a lot. Bregman's making a lot. Casas is at a little under $18 million. Our bullpen is basically completely without contract other than Bubich. Lang and Brash are both. But some of these will just be like renewals and stuff like that. Okay, so we do get him as our farm system director. Okay. So there's some dudes there that would help. But I have no money. I have some money. It's basically the money that I saved by cutting. What's his face? They're trading away. Yoshida. I'm good there. I mean, like, Pete Alonso's an interesting name. He wants a lot of money, though. There's definitely some interesting guys here. I don't really know what our problem is. Actually, here, let's do this. So what I want to do is move Alex Bregman to third base. Okay. He's third base now. Let's just look at the roster. Pitching, we can't afford a better pitcher anyway, so we'll just leave it where it is. Um, these are the guys we have under contract. I gotta go get Kittredge back. As far as offseason moves, catcher, I don't think we'll make any improvements at. Wong was good in the playoffs. Costas is our long-term first baseman. Campbell's here to stay, obviously. Devers, Bregman, David Fry. Third base is kind of loaded here. Um, got David Hamilton and Marcelo Mayer. Oh yeah, I do remember one thing I was gonna do. Maybe it's a little cheesy, but I'm just taking it up to a 90. He won Rookie of the Year. I think it's fair. We're gonna bump his development up to an A. Left field to Jaron Duran, Rafael and Roman Anthony in center field, and Abreu in right field. I mean, maybe we can make an improvement here. Get a guy that can actually hit both sides of the, both styles of pitching. So maybe right field is where we look. Uh, I wish Adolis Garcia hadn't taken such a hit on his lefty power. That he'd be a guy. Nick Castellanos can only hit if there's a major world event happening. Tyrone Taylor, Jorge Soler, George Springer. How the mighty have fallen. um, Robles isn't really a power guy. He's a base stealer. Center field, Dalton Varsho. And we got Cody Bellinger, and he doesn't hit lefties either. Lane Thomas, left fielder. I mean, Randy Arozarena is an interesting option. We might get him for he wants $17 million a year. Ian Happ, he's going down. Taylor Ward at least has good contact against lefties, so that's a guy. He's gonna be a cheaper option too. Jake Fraley, no. Michael Conforto, maybe as a cheaper. Jock Peterson looking like no, can't hit lefties either. In real life, he can't hit anything. Alex Verdugo. Bring Rob Refsnyder back. That's about all he does. So right now, I'm kind of thinking maybe we make a Taylor Ward or Randy Arozarena offer. Uh, I mean, Brandon Lau's coming off a really good year with two really good years with the Rays. I don't need a shortstop. Uh, freaking the Rays losing their entire middle infield. You go Horner, no. Jonathan India, no. No. Crawford, no. Strada, no. Let's kind of handle some of our guys first. So salary arbitration. Yeah. Crawford, yes, definitely. I don't think we're going to win that, but Brady, we will go ahead and offer arbitration to. Dustin May, obviously. Been a waste of a trade. Lang, yes. That's a lot for Detmers. Hamilton, especially if we win that, that's a. He's a nice utility guy. Yeah. Yeah, I said that was a lot for Detmers. It's really not. That's $5 million for a 79 overall pitcher who's only 27. Yeah, he struggled last year, but still. Renew years. Just keep renewing some of these guys. Mostly as roster filler, but you need those guys too. Rodriguez was our first round pick year one, so I want to keep him around, obviously. I'll do all of this off screen. Y'all aren't. Not anything interesting here, especially since, well, these these three guys, and I forgot about Dan Cora. He has gone up quite a bit because I think he was in the 40s when we drafted him. So I'll go back and do all this on my own. But now the big question is who are we gonna get that we think can improve our team enough to push us over the edge? So obviously you see what it looks like there. Second base and shortstop, obviously they're showing us our biggest weaknesses, and there are guys there that would help. They are saying that we can afford Jazz Chisholm, which is crazy. I gotta remember too that I've gotta lock up uh, Garrett Crochet next year, so I can't afford a huge contract. I mean, if I can get him, a lot of really good relief pitchers here. I do want Kittredge back. He's off the big board now. We signed one person and we can't afford him. Okay. Well, Evan Phillips from the Dodgers. Brian Abreu's an interesting guy. he might get picked up, but well, I don't know. He's kind of getting improved. He's kind of improved quite a bit. So the rest of these guys, I don't know if I'm really that worried about. Okay. Like, Ryan Jeffers would be good, but I just think I think an investment in a catcher is just not smart. Who was the? There's a. The Castellanos does kind of intrigue me if I can get him for 1 year on a pretty cheap deal. A big Adolis Garcia guy. Doesn't hit lefties real well anymore though, so I'm out on him. Castellanos, however, Pete Alonso is going to the Orioles. Evan Phillips is going to the Diamondbacks. Tarek Skubal is going to the Mariners. Why? Why do y'all need more freaking pitching? That's just silly. Brian Abreu does have 50% motivation to sign with us. He's a fairly young reliever, so I don't mind giving him a bigger deal. He's gonna give us 10 million after the budget after this, which means we would be able to sign Castellanos, but Shane Bieber going to the Tigers, make up for Tarek Skubal leaving. And I am going to go ahead and renew these contracts. So give me a second. Contracts have been renewed, so now we're just kind of waiting on the rest of this stuff. Ha-Sung Kim is going to the Braves. Brandon Lau is going to the Dodgers. Oh my god. Jazz Chisholm is going to the Cleveland Guardians. Freddie Peralta is going to the Twins. Yeah. That's the last relief pitcher I'm signing. So I think we're fine otherwise. Good there. Brian Abreu, contract decision. Does decide to sign. Jack Flaherty is going back to the Tigers. So their rotation really doesn't take too big of a hit. I'm kind of scared to go look at uh, the Mariners rotation right now. Tarek Skubal, 97. Logan Gilbert, 95. George Kirby, 93. Luis Castillo, 88. Bryce Miller, 86. Brian Wu, 85. What are y'all doing? Why do y'all need... Y'all are worse than the freaking Dodgers. Available to spend, 1.23 million. They recommended nobody because we have no money. So yeah, here's our budget situation. Bregman's contract and Crochet's contracts are kind of the big elephants in the room. We may end up having to move on from like a pitcher. I like Bayo's contract. I think that's going to be good for us. David Fries is very cheap, so that's not an issue. But we may have to get out of this 18 million a year for him. In fact, let's just kind of see. We don't really have the money to be in the business of having all these freaking players. Probably load up on prospects here, but okay. Who needs pitching? Y'all are good. Y'all are good. Y'all, it doesn't really make sense for y'all to trade for him. Y'all could. What is my budget? That's the main question here. So we have a total revenue of 305.9 million. Player salaries and staff salaries are 253.9 million. So they're expected to go way down, mainly because we're losing Bregman's and Crochet's contracts. But I've got to find a way to give. Okay, that's a trade that didn't pop up. What the hell? So the Angels traded Mike Trout to the Astros for Christian Walker and Kyron Paris. Okay. And Marcus Simeon's going to the Cubs. Astro's still an 86 overall player. He's going down, but Astros are in a weird spot. Yeah, we're in a I do need to see if I can. Love to be able to bring back Bregman, but I cannot pay him that much money next year. So we're just gonna kind of have to sit on our hands in free agency a little bit because we're. It's not everybody, I don't think. So another really. Jesus Luzardo's staying with the. I think he was with the Mets. He may have been with the Phillies. I don't know. Nope. I can't do anything anyway. I don't have any money. Rockies once again available. The league's gotten better. I mean, the number 5 team did have 70 wins. We are seeing pretty drastic improvement. Yankees still being. Although I would be terrified of the Mariners, their rotation. And in the draft lottery, I don't know why I'm even doing this. I didn't see who got the number 1 pick. Oh well, not important. I can't believe that Mike Trout trade didn't show up. I don't know if there's going to be anybody here that we would want, but it's worth looking. Michael Kopech is here. Cade Horton. Yeah, we're going to pick him up because he's got 75 stamina. So at a 63 overall currently, he'll make a hell of a starter. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up Cade Horton. I might pick up Michael Kopech too, because I'm not real positive what our reliever situation looks like, but he's 73 overall, so we'll take him. He's good enough that if even if I do, yeah, we'll skip the selection. I don't need. But yeah, he's sitting here. I mean, it's Walter Yang. He's the guy that we got from the White Sox for Yoshida. And we'll see what his overall is as a starter. 72. So it is better. He'll basically be our long reliever. And I think going into the season, it'll be Crochet, Crawford, Huck, Hurts. And then I don't know. Bayo deserves to be in the rotation, but I also traded for Dustin May. Rodriguez is getting a lot better. He's got a good walk per 9. So we will see him up eventually. Maybe not this year. Probably not this year. I keep forgetting that this guy's here. He's gotten better. Actually, really, for a 52 overall, he's got pretty good power numbers, if I'm being honest. We'll see if we may end up trading Bregman mid-season. I don't know. Just in case. You never know. Yeah, we've got less money now than we did before. Brett Rooker is going to the Phillies. Okay, I don't know what they're doing. Edwin Diaz, the closer from the Mets, is going to the uh, Padres. I think that's a good trade. They got rid of Marcelo Ozuna, who I imagine was probably making a bunch of money, 14.6 million. Decent and a couple of decent prospects. So yeah, I think actually think that's a really good trade for them, for a good closer that they didn't have. Realistically, if I were to like get rid of Hook, it would be just to clear salary for next year. Because there's not really anybody here that I need. But I would still like to explore the idea of trading him. He's 30 and I've got these other guys coming up, so. Better offers, but. No, I'm not helping y'all with your rotation anymore, Seattle, so. I don't even need him. So again, I'm going to look at pitching rotations. I really think a team like the Royals would make some sense. Really, what they need is a closer. Problem is that there's not a lot of guys that they can, in fact, trade. They would make that trade. I'm not going to. One, because he plays at a position that we don't need. Rangers. What are y'all working with? Y'all need a catcher in the absolute worst way. The Rangers bad. I don't think y'all have anything that I want. I take Evan Carter. Y'all's team is not good. Um, the Brewers make a lot of sense for us. last year. Awful contact hitter. Hayes Clark's development is kind of slow. Schultz. Why? I think we'll wait and deal him either mid-season or unless it tells me that I don't have enough money to offer arbitration to these people. Hey, look, there's Patrick Sandoval. Yeah, Justin Slayton, Gonzalez, Matt Brash, Kopech. Like nothing. We have over our budget. Okay, so what's on our budget now? I didn't read all of those. Player salaries. Dustin May's making 14 and a half. Reed Detmer's only got 4. Okay. That's fine with me. Carter Crawford making 2.7 is crazy. What did he do last year? It wasn't great. I mean, the last 2 years have been fine. I don't know how that was all he got, but I'm not going to complain. Okay. They're ranking us as number 5 overall going into the season, so we got to make some noise this year. I really forgot. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these people. Detmers, I'm really kind of out on. Just I don't like pitching with him. It takes forever. So I've got plenty of pitchers. $7.2 million. First down, like everybody's contract situations are sorted out, or maybe not. I don't know. Let's look at our budget going into the next year, 2028. So yeah, 45 and 28. His contract will be gone, and he'll just straight up be a free agent. Trade Ethan Silas away. I think Romy got to be in the major this year. 40,000 third baseman. So we are okay. Rip off the band-aid. Rip the band-aid off right now. If they will let me offer this, actually, I'm gonna. He'll be 37 at the end of this contract. I think it's worth it. I do. He's 27. That will get him here. Yeah, he's just continuing to go up. Probably in a couple years, if he continues to be good, he'll be a 99. Which means that from there, all he can do is go down. But I expect he'd be in the high 80s by then. Worst case scenario, I trade him. I don't want to be locked into a contract for that long. Really? Your interest is very confusing, sir. Fine, we'll do 8 years. Does that work? Seven. Okay, so we solved that issue. Garrett Crochet is locked up long term, so we don't have to worry about his contract anymore. It only took about a $10 million increase. That's good. Now, the Alex Bregman contract. Oh, hell yeah. $14 million a year? Even over 5 years? I'll do that. Ooh, I was worried for nothing. He's still got arbitration. And it's. I think it would be worthwhile still getting a cheap year of him. What about Hurts? He's on arbitration. I don't want to commit to too many of these pitchers. Is my problem because I don't know what's gonna happen. Alex Lang. See, I probably would be okay offering that, honestly. Matt Brash, what does he want? 8. Abreu. That contract, I don't know if I can do. He's still got 2 years of arbitration. Yeah, I'm good on that. Detmers is. Yeah, I'm not paying him $14.3 million. There's no way. 14.5, 14.8. I give you more years, would you be willing to take less? Like, could I possibly get you down to? I get you down to 12 point. I'll just wait on his. Kittredge I'm not re-signing yet because he's old and. His is going to depend on how he plays. He's a good utility guy. I don't really think you can argue with that. 4 years for a guy that can play almost everywhere. Okay, so the two big issues that were hanging over our head, monetarily speaking, the Garrett Crochet deal and the Alex Bregman deal, are knocked out. So we will consider that. Ooh, Josiah Gray's there. I don't really need another pitcher though, but like he's here. Salvador Perez. Walker Buehler still chilling here. Ramon Marquez chilling. Yeah, no. Someone will pick him up, but it's not going to be me. I probably need to sign a closer to send to one of the minor league teams. Yeah, that'll work. There's like 5,000 up with the major league team right now. AAA's got 2, 5 in AA, High A. I'll just move all of them up. I don't see these dudes being that useful, so that okay, that's fine. Let's move some guys around. Catchers I have plenty of. First base I'm good. Everything else should be fine. Other than maybe left field. I only have 3 left fielders on the roster, just total. I am glad they fixed this, because used to you could find, sure, whatever. Used to you could find just like, computer generated, like, A potential players that were really good, and it was really, really silly. Okay, there's some dudes here. SDR Ruiz is here. I'm not paying him $8.5 million a year. You can miss me with that. Not paying you $8.1 million a year. They were guys that I thought, okay, I'll give you a chance. No, not at that price. I'm not. No, thank you. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna sim to this point. Yes. Let me just. I need to change this anyway, but. Yes, okay, fine. Turn this off. Turn this off. There we go. I don't want to play any of these spring training games. And then I will set my roster at the end. Okay, spring training has come to an end. Still have 39 out of 40 players on our roster. So let's start here. Yes, 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 yes. I have to have Cade Horton on the roster. You two, I do not. Can Whitlock go down? He can. Okay. And then he just did some spot duty. He didn't start. Whew, ERA of 108. Yeah, we'll move you to AAA. Yes, 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 yes. Can Weissert be moved down? Yes, okay. We'll figure out the AAA pitcher situation. That's fine there. AA does have 27 players on it right now, but that's okay. Kowski may have. I can't send him down. That's unfortunate. So it's gonna have to be one of these starters. Picking up Kate Horton was probably a bad idea because now I don't really have a spot for him. But oh well, we'll figure that out in a second. Salas is going back to AAA. I mean, the nice thing is he's only 20, and he's been in the league for forever. So that's good for us. Set the MLB roster and then deal with everything else. Yes, I want Campbell and Gonzalez. I do not need all of these third basemen. Although this guy has been playing really well. Can I move him to AAA? I don't know if with my roster setup if I really need him. DFA him. Figure it out from there. Yes, those two. No. Move you to double A. Play. Yeah, they're fine. Anthony, I am going to start up in the majors. I think. I don't know. He still can't hit up here. We'll see. He's on the fence right now. Bryant Welsh was our first round pick last year. He's got to work on his bat, but he can. He's got good speed, decent speed, and he's good at stealing. And he does have good enough contact that it's not a complete liability. But I will leave him in Double A for now. Okay, we're down to 29 people. Pitchers, we have too many. We have 15 pitchers, so we got to get that down. AAA roster, they're gonna have a really good starting rotation. Okay. So these four for sure, and then it's between May and Bayo, and I don't think I can justify either that or we keep 7 and I move. I send another. Can you go down? No, because you don't have any minor league options left. Okay. So the relievers pretty much are what they are, but Abreu was going to be here anyway. I just signed him to a pretty big deal. Bubic the same. He's making quite a bit actually. I didn't know he was making that much money. Kittredge was too good last year to keep him down. What did Slayton do last year? He was pretty good. Okay. He did not pitch for the Dodgers last year. Make sure there's not any funky people on here. Did pitch last year. He's in 47 games and DFA him and then make a decision later. I still need to move 2 people down. Again, let me make sure there's not any like weird people on here that don't need to be. I think I'm gonna go ahead and send Roman Anthony down. Well, no, because I need another outfielder. He is my backup outfielder besides, and I'll have Mayer can play in the outfield. Hamilton can't, but David Fry can, and Romy Gonzalez can. He can actually play all the outfield positions. So I think this group is set. It's pitching that's the issue. Okay, I know I picked up Kate Horton. We are now ranked second. I feel like that's not accurate. I may go ahead and just trade him. I know it's crazy, but acquire him and then make him a starter, increase his trade value, and send him off. I could, in theory, trade both of them and just see what comes up. Which, yes, I realize is a very strange move to make, but they're spending a long time finding these trades. Cade Povich. Okay. Anthony Volpe. I'm not going to take anything right super crazy. I'm not doing that. That. At this point, because then it would just be me taking advantage of a very goofy trade system. But see, something like this, I don't think that's terrible. Really, all I'm doing is trying to get them off of their roster, but get something for them. How do they keep getting everybody's prospects? The Marlins just yeah. Here. Dylan Cruz and Mackenzie Gore. That's an offer. Yeah, but MLB The Show, please fix your trade logic. This doesn't make sense. Is this the? Oh yeah, this was the first baseman I was looking at last year. Because some of these trades are. You know what? We'll do this one. That's a trade that actually would make a lot of sense for the Rockies. It's a young pitching prospect and a really solid reliever, and they're just sending away guys. So we'll do that. And then those are guys that I can just stick in the minors and not feel bad about. Okay. Now then, let's look at the roster. So 11, that's 13. We have 28 of 26 AA players. The pitching may be the issue. I don't remember if it's 13 or 12, but I think that's fine. The issue will be we'll have to figure out something to do with Winkowski. No, he's still counting. Okay, well he can stay on the roster though. All right, cool. Oh, and then AAA or our AA roster, we gotta. There's dudes on here we gotta do something with. Okay, yeah, y'all two can go down to. Yeah, y'all can go down to. Okay, perfect. I think I'm okay with how our roster's set up. We're starting off with the Giants. We're ranked 7th, which is about where we were last year, which is fine. I don't know that our roster is really any different from then to now. Obviously, the bullpen is pretty much completely different. And that's where I'm going to make the move at, right there. I think it might be a little bit better. Lineups: Duran, Campbell, Devers is DHing, Casas at first, Bregman third, short, right field for Abreu, Connor Wong, Rafaela. That is perfectly fine. Roman Anthony not playing, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not spots for everybody. And then lefties, we do have David Fry in right field over Abreu, and I'm going to move him up in the order. I'm going to actually swap him with Wong, Casas, Devers. Actually, I don't think it makes sense to have Devers batting third against lefties. We'll swap that around. His contact's okay. I think that's a better spot. Okay, that'll work. So that's going to be the setup going into this season. We've been a really quiet team in free agency, which that may change next year. I don't know. Obviously, there's gonna be, yeah, it'll be a big difference between the two contracts because we only went up 10 million on Crochet's, a little less than 10 million, but we are coming down over 30 million on Bregman. So that's a $20 million swing. That's a pretty big difference. Um, I don't necessarily feel motivated to trade him away now. Um, we've still got some arbitration on some of these guys, so Abraham Toro will probably just end up releasing. And Winkowski will stay on the roster, so I think we'll be fine there. But okay. Well, that was a nice long episode of Red Sox franchise. You know, the whole off season. We're at a little over an hour, so that's cool. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all are ready for the next season. Maybe we'll finally get over the hump. I don't know. It's been tough out here. I say finally. It's only been 2 seasons. I'm gonna try and push through this year pretty quick. The first game we will play, we've been doing that pretty consistently. Plus, it's the home opener, so and then we'll just kind of pick games throughout. We may do a few more player locks and go from there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Friar Chuck saying bye bye.